Okay, Group Advanced Presentation number 6 by Amanda Flores. Instructions. So for this presentation, there were 2 parts. And for the first part, we were asked to investigate how aspirin works for both a pathway and on a mechanistic level through the use of drawing out the mechanisms with structures and enzymes and all that. And for part 2, we were asked to explain what prostaglandins do in respect to inflammation and how inhibiting their formation would reduce inflammation. So for part 1, I got my picture messed up for the mechanisms and the pathways. And this mechanism on this picture has to do with the prostaglandin synthesis. And so you start off with the fatty acids and it goes down all the way to a prostaglandin is produced, and at the bottom you have the 3 prostaglandin types, I guess, or the products of that. So we'll go back to this. So right here we have the mechanism of the acetylation of COX-1 and 2 isoforms, and this has to do with the aspirin, the synthesis of aspirin. So the aspirin acetates the serine amino acid residue that is present in the active site of cyclooxygenase enzyme, which is COX-1 and COX-2. And aspirin is mostly a non-selective co-inhibitor, but it mostly inhibits the COX-1 more than COX-2. So by looking at it, you have the structure of the salicylic acid, the aspirin in the middle, and the other salicylic acid, and then COX-1 and COX-2 on respective sites. So you have the enzymes that are active and inactive on both sides, and on COX-1, the breakdown leads to the inhibition of the prostaglandin synthesis, which is what helps make aspirin a non-inflammatory medication. So going on to the next picture, this picture has to do with the prostaglandins again, like the first picture, just kind of more in depth. And this one has the structures and the enzymes. And here the arachidonic acid undergoes the metabolism by the cyclooxygenase enzyme and forms prostaglandins. This is the vital role that is played in inflammation and pain. So this is what creates inflammation when the prostaglandin is produced. So the way aspirin works is by the acetylation of serine in the cyclooxygenase enzyme, which ends up preventing the formation of prostaglandins, which overcomes the pain and the inflammation, which is what I said earlier. So for part 2, what do prostaglandins do in respect to inflammation? Well, when it comes to the prostaglandins, in respect to inflammation, because the prostaglandins kind of coincide with different areas of the body, they promote inflammation, hence the previous picture where we talked about its formation and such. So when asked how inhibiting that formation would reduce inflammation. It's obvious because if prostaglandins are a main source in inflammation and pain as the body's response to infection or what the case may be, by taking an aspirin, you're inhibiting their formation through the COX-1. You obviously overcome the pain and inflammation, as I stated in the previous few slides. So that is all. I was a little bit confused on this presentation, but that is all. Thank you.